the limits, giving you the biggest and the most talked about news of today. Good day, Philippines. Good day, world. I am Grace Marie P. Caipa. And I am Vanna Marie P. Bersamina, the Global Gazette News.
A powerful earthquake struck the Philippines
At 8:03 a.m. Philippine Standard Time of August 18, 2020, Tuesday, a strong magnitude 6.6 earthquake shook the province of Masbate in the Bicol region. Tectonic in origin, the tremor was felt in the entire Bicol region and in several provinces in the Visayas.
The earthquake is an epicenter located 7 kilometers southwest of the town of Catainan at a depth of 21 kilometers. It was followed by over 2010 aftershocks with a maximum of 5.1 magnitude on August 19.
According to the government's report, the earthquake left 1 person dead and 51 people injured. Almost 3,700 people have been affected, with 1,176 people still displaced and staying in 14 evacuation centers. Over 725 houses have been destroyed or damaged, with local authorities still continuing assessments on the impact.
We could totally see how that earthquake greatly affected not only the infrastructures but also the displacement of the people. Abby,
Yes, Vanna?
do we have any victims who are willing to share their experience during the earthquake?
Yes, Vanna. We have here a senior high student who is willing to share his experience. Good morning. Do you mind telling us what you experienced when the earthquake happened?
Good morning. Not at all. Let me tell you my story. I bought my favorite snack and chose my favorite filling. As I was about to receive my snack, the ground started rumbling and the lights were flickering. I ran and leave my snack behind, but I couldn't just leave my snack because my stomach was also rumbling. That's why I came running back to get my snack.
Thank you for sharing your rumbling story. Back to you, Vanna.
Risha, do we have other victims who are willing to share their experience?
Yes, Grace, we have a victim here who is willing to share her experience. A pleasant morning to you, ma'am. What were you doing when the incident happened?
Good morning to you too. When the earthquake struck, I was on my way to the mall after my OB/GYN clinic checkup. I'm expecting a baby girl, and I thought that it would be nice to stroll around the mall for a while. Somebody screamed, "Hala, Linog!" That feeling of excitement was replaced. I was so scared that something might happen to me and to my baby.
I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. Thank you for sharing your experience. Back to you, Grace. Here we have another victim who is willing to share her experience. A pleasant morning to you, ma'am. What were you doing when the earthquake happened?
Pleasant morning to you too. I was in the middle of a board meeting with my shareholders.
I was just about to end the board meeting I had with my shareholders when the building suddenly started shaking. It was heartbreaking when my building collapsed. I can never do anything about that since it already happened. However, I can reconstruct my building.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, ma'am. Back to you, Grace.
Earthquakes truly have devastating effects, leading to significant loss of life and numerous injuries among victims. Those affected face not only physical trauma, but also emotional and psychological challenges as they cope with the aftermath, including loss of loved ones and the destruction of their homes and communities.
But what does an earthquake really mean? What are the causes of this? And what is the difference between intensity and magnitude? Our renowned seismologist here will give us answers to our questions.
Thank you, Ms. Bersamina and Caipa. Before I start, I am Ms. Aranteris Pugoso, a seismologist working in the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, in short, PVOLS, a service institute of the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST.
What are earthquakes? An earthquake is a weak to violent shaking of the ground produced by the sudden movement of rock materials below the Earth's surface. The earthquakes originate in the tectonic plate boundary The focus is the point inside the Earth where the earthquake started, sometimes called the hypocenter, and the point on the surface of the Earth directly above the focus is called the epicenter. Magnitude is the energy released by an earthquake at the focus. It is calculated from earthquakes recorded from an instrument called seismograph, while intensity is the strength of an earthquake perceived and felt by people in a certain locality. Intensity is generally higher near the epicenter.
Now that we were given light as to what an earthquake is, what causes it, the different phase boundaries, and the difference between magnitude and intensity, Ms. Margaret Nicole Duagas, a math professor, will show us how to calculate the energy released by an earthquake using the Richter formula.
Thank you, Ms. Bersamina. So this is how we will solve the energy released by an earthquake using the formula for magnitude.
Finding the releases energy using the Richter scale formula for magnitude, which is R equals 2/3 logarithm times energy over 10 raised to the power of 4.40, and the recorded magnitude is approximately 6.6. First, substitute the R by 6.6, then transposing the 2/3 to the left, multiplied, results to 19.8 over 2. Then by using the property of logarithm, the equation will turn into 9.9 equals logarithm of t minus logarithm of 10 raised to the power of 4.40. After which we transpose the negative logarithm of 10 raised to the power of 4.40 to the far left, changing the sign into positive, and then adding it into 9.9, calculating the logarithm into 4.4. Adding both 9.9 and 4.4 results to 14.3. It was logarithm of t. Then lastly, by converting the logarithmic form into exponential, it will now be E equals 10 raised to the power of 14.3. And do not forget the unit if measured for energy release, which is in joules.
The derived formula helps in estimating the potential damage to man-made structures and the impact on communities. By analyzing these factors, we can better reduce and manage the risk, improve the infrastructure foundation, and educate the public on safety measures and disaster readiness.
Thank you for that, Ms. Duagas. We can totally say that in all aspects of life, we can apply math. Now, before this news broadcast ends, Mr. Lumba, a government employee, will educate us on what to do before, during, and after an earthquake.
An earthquake is a sudden shaking of ground caused by two chunks of Earth's crust sliding past one another. Even while earthquakes are brief, typically last no more than a minute, they may cause tremendous devastation.
Here's a short clip on what you should do before, during, and after an earthquake.
How prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects from over the bed and over your head? Anchored your possessions securely to the wall. It won't be a pain, and you're not doing it in vain. Are your emergency kits packed? What about your family, your friends? Do they know what to do, how to get in touch, and where to meet? Do you know how to drop, cover, and hold on, covering your head and neck? What if you're outside? Or in a car? After the shaking stops, look around. Figure out what to do. Stay away from damaged areas. Turn on a radio. Reach out for help. And if you're trapped, do not move about. Stay calm. Only shout as a last resort. Once everything and everyone is safe, get prepared. An aftershock could be on its way. So before the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, get prepared. Make a plan. Practice what you know.
Back to you, Grace.
The Philippines is one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, facing earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and typhoons. While we can stop these events, math helps us understand their impacts, like measuring earthquake magnitudes or predicting storm paths.
But knowing that science isn't enough, we also need to be prepared. This means having a disaster plan, practicing safety drills, and keeping emergency supplies ready. By staying informed and prepared, we can protect ourselves and our communities when disasters happen. This is Benamarie Bersamina,
and this is Grace Marie P. This is the Global Gazette News.